who's been providing that of late, but more times off the bench than not. Today, when I saw that starting lineup with Foden and Alvarez up top as well, I was expecting a far more attacking performance. And it just never came. Whether we blame the omission or not omission, Rodri, the unavailability of Rodri, or whether the injury of
Kevin
De Bruyne in terms of that quality to link up the two departments. You can point the finger any which way you can. I don't offer City that excuse, given the money that they've spent, given the depth of their squad. I just feel that kind of more pragmatic, slower-paced game that's worked so well for them in Europe does not work against better opposition in the Premier League. And again, I give full credit to Arsenal and Arteta for that.
They spent a lot of money on Declan Rice over the summer. Kieran, how good was he today?
Yeah, he was top. I really like him. He's just so consistent in his performances. You can tell he wants to be the best. And today was a classic case of that. I love his enthusiasm with the team. He looks like he's a leader, and he's a voice on and off the pitch. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do over the course of this season with the team. I think that he's going to be at the heart of this Arsenal team for many years to come, and he's had a great start.
He got better in the second half, didn't he? He started, winning more balls back, passing it forward, getting forward himself. And I think that was a smart move from Arteta to put, whether it had been Partey or Jorginho in there, to get what you would call a second, more traditional midfield player in there with Odegaard to go and roam about a bit more. I think if he'd tried to go with maybe Havertz in there, who hasn't worked, or somebody else, and left Rice on his own, I think we'd have seen a lot more domination from City. Even though Jorginho's not a brilliant defensive midfielder, he fills a space, he gets on the ball, he's very tidy on it, right? He will organise, he'll talk, he understands the defensive aspect of the game, and I think Arteta knew that was one of the areas that was supremely important for him. I think the fact that he realised he had to make a change at half-time because Trossard was quiet, and the fact that he was up against one of the quickest defenders in the Premier League meant that he was never going to outrun. Who's the right back again for City?
Walker.
He was never going to outrun Walker down the outside, so he was going to have to float around, and there wasn't space to do that. So I think they needed injection with Martinelli coming in, and you have to say Arteta got his team selection absolutely spot on. It's a shame that Saka wasn't available to see the battle down the other side. But when you look at the chances created and you look at the stats in terms of attempts at goal, and then also look at the fact that City were absolutely lucky to play this majority of this game with 11 men when it should have been 10, I think it's hard to argue that Arsenal deserved, in the end, in my opinion, the 3 points.
What does this mean big picture for Arsenal's title aspirations, Kieran?
Well, psychologically, I think it's good that they've beaten City in the first leg, because I feel that this will give them the boost that they need. Not just in the battle for these two top teams, but also in the other games. I feel like Arsenal will just start to really pick up form now and hit momentum. And yeah, I mean, listen, they've still got a long way to go. I want to see Spurs come down the table a bit. They're worrying me a little bit. But yeah, they're showing that even when they're not performing at their very best, that they're showing a resilience that we haven't seen from them over the last few years. And I think that's what's most pleasing for probably the fans, and just the club and the manager in general at the moment. And that's what wins you titles, right? That when you're not in form and you're still nicking results, that's what wins you leagues. That's what wins you trophies. And yeah, they'll know they would have learned a lot over the last few years, and you feel that they're just making slowly still the positive strides in the right directions to get their hands on some big prizes.
4-horse title race?
So we're talking Newcastle?
No.
Liverpool,
Spurs, Arsenal, City.
No, I think 3. I think Spurs will eventually succumb to the squad.
But a proper three-horse race that will go down.
Well, I certainly hope so. And listen, in no particular order, how it finishes, I'm at first. But I certainly don't want to see complete domination again. It wasn't complete domination last year, but it certainly, in the end, it would get over the line pretty easily. But there's no doubt that City are not firing on all cylinders. I think it's even safe to say with Arsenal, there is a lot more to come. There's still a lot more, and that's a good thing. A lot more to come from Arsenal. And